This podcast was created by fans for fans and is not affiliated with or sponsored by Hallmark or the Hallmark channel. This is Eric.
This is Sydney.
And this is Hallmark Mysteries.
And more.
Hello, Sydney.
Hey, Eric. How's it going?
It's going okay. So we our listeners are probably going, what the heck's going on? Because we took a week off, but we are back.
We needed it.
Yeah. Both Sydney's and my life are a little hectic right now. So we kept trying to schedule, and our schedules just didn't align. And so for the first time since we launched, we did miss a week. So hopefully people are not mad at us. I have a feeling they're not, but people are just more mad at us that Mystery 101's canceled than we missed an episode.
Or maybe they're mad because it's so hot. How hot is it where you are?
Well, we did have every day in July, with the exception of the 31st, over 110 degrees.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just looked at the fact like the 31st didn't do it, that it was just sort of the weather's way of saying, like, screw you. We're not going to give you an entire month of 10 or 110, where you're going to have that one day where it's not. And it's funny because it was 108, and I don't want to say it felt cool out, but it didn't feel like oppressive or
oh my gosh.
anything. And I was like, all right, I've been my whole sense of heat has been altered. So
I bet. That's crazy.
it is. And
let's hope it gets cooler.
And it's toasty, it's not this toasty, but it's still toasty your way, right?
No, yeah, it's not that toasty, but it is, yeah, it's pretty warm. And we had the monsoonal moisture come up from Mexico. So I thought we were going to get a little bit of thunder and lightning, but we didn't get any. We only got clouds.
We had a huge lightning thunder storm, but no rain.
Oh,
the other day. So
that's unusual. I guess that happens.
Some parts like had rain, a little bit of rain elsewhere, but wasn't much. Even at the parts that did. So
wow.
Speaking of hot, we're going to talk and see if To Catch a Spy, the one-off Hallmark mystery, was hot or not. So we will see.
Yeah.
So, yes. So To Catch a Spy is the movie we are talking about, which, according to Hallmark, is when the newly renovated Hotel Optima in Malta has a grand opening. Chloe and her team from Destination Traveler magazine head over to cover the travel scene in Malta and sees someone fall to their death right past her hotel window.
Whoa.
I don't even think the intern did that one. I don't know who the heck.
Wait a minute.
That.
Where did you get that synopsis? Because I pulled a synopsis from the about section, and it's much smaller than this.
Smaller? Well, that was from IMDb. So you had like the one straight from Hallmark?
Yeah.
All right, what's Hallmark say?
It says a travel writer witnesses a murder at a hotel in Malta and becomes ensnared in a web of intrigue and espionage as she tries to find the killer before the killer finds her. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. Well, it is short, but it's way better than this one, which is like,
it is concise. Yeah.
Someone falls across her window.
Okay. Bye.
I mean, it doesn't even say that there's a murder. It just says someone falls right past their window.
Yeah.
All right. I guess maybe I should go to Hallmark and now on and read the Hallmark ones, but
well, it's hit or miss.
Yeah. All right. It was written by Rick Garman, directed by Jeff Beasley. Not familiar with either of those two. Is it Natalie? Nathalie? Is that Natalie, or is it Nathalie?
Yes, I think that's Natalie.
Just Natalie. Okay, she spells it fancy. So Natalie Kelly French. Is Chloe Day. the travel raider who has someone fall to their death outside her window. Colin Donnell is Aaron Maxwell, who is FBI agent. And then Patty Murin is in this one as one of the co-workers for Chloe. And I
Mm.
just call her out because I'll talk about her later. And then there's a whole slew of other characters who I'm guessing a lot of them, so I haven't seen them before. I think a lot of them are those like local, what do you call someone from Malta? Maltese? A Maltine?
Is it Maltese? I think there's a Maltese poodle.
Oh, Maltese Falcon. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maltese. But is that somebody or that's just something
I think it's
from,
of
oh,
Maltese descent.
okay. The Maltese Actor Guild, I think, uh, filled up the rest of the the cast here. So
There you go.
I didn't recognize anyone though from the Dancing Detective, and as I was watching this, I kept looking for Dancing Detective. I saw a couple things that were similar, and I was trying to figure out if the hotel was the same or not
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out either, but
because
stunning.
they had like the same balcony scene where they overlook
Mm-hmm.
everything. But I rewound it and I found a picture and it didn't match the iron, the wrought ironness. So
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was maybe the architecture is very similar there. But
Yeah.
okay, well, do we have a cocktail for today?
You know what? We're going to keep it simple and sweet. And we are going with the I Spy a Mimosa because
Nice.
that is what Chloe Day was enjoying with her travel buddies. She enjoyed brunch. And for a mimosa, I mean, I think everyone knows how to make one, but I think the fresh orange juice really matters. You know, get spring for the fresh orange juice or just make it yourself. It's really not that hard. But you'll want to have 3 cups of fresh orange juice on hand and a bottle of chilled champagne. And then you'll pour if this is how I do it, but you know, you might want to do it differently. I do half of the champagne flute with champagne, and then the other half with the fresh orange juice. But some people like to fill it, you know, 2/3 of the way with champagne and just put a splash of orange juice in
Yeah,
there.
that totally reminds me. Last time I went to brunch with one of my friends, she ordered her mimosa, and I forget what she ordered it. And I'm like, what the heck's that? And it essentially was that. It's like basically tons of champagne, very little orange juice. And I forget what the phrase, how what she called it,
Yeah,
was. So I'll have to figure that out.
easy
But
on the orange juice.
yes, I want to say, dang, when I make my wife, I have to up the champagne game because I think I'm like the opposite. I'm about like 2/3 orange juice, 1/3 champagne. So I got to at least go half and half, huh?
I'd ease into it though, because maybe she's not ready for all
Uh,
that champagne.
I'm glad she doesn't listen to the no, she's a pro. She can handle it. But I'm glad she doesn't listen to the podcast or she'll get mad at me for cheating her out
Skipping.
on her champagne all these years.
Oh,
Darn you.
Eric.
All right. Well, I make up for it in making a very strong Bloody Mary. So
Yeah, that's
here
what we're talking about.
we go. All right. Sounds good. It's very refreshing. And yes, they were definitely the brunch crew. So the mimosa's
Yeah.
perfect. All right. So let's get into it. What did you like about To Catch a Spy?
Well, first off, I have to say that I feel like Natalie Kelly kind of looked like a Hallmark
Uh,
knockoff of Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya Gerber. And I felt like Colin Donnell kind of looked like a knockoff of Now Matter. I feel like they kind of looked like these people. And the whole time I'm like, gosh, they look like the, you know, that's all I could think about for the first couple scenes is they just kind of look like these
wait,
same people.
wait, is that what you like?
Like, I don't know. I just have to say that's what I
All
thought.
right. Hey, hey, Sydney, what did you like about this? They look like knockoffs.
They did. They
Hey,
did.
wait, did you catch, by the way, the beginning of it when Natalie Kelly comes in, Chloe comes into her work and like, oh, I just got back from Iceland. Did,
Yeah.
okay, so you're not getting the little Easter egg there, are you? Colin Donnell had just filmed or just released was Love on Iceland, which he was
Oh,
from there, and then this was like the next gig for him. A couple months later, out this came.
well, that's
So I
cute.
now whether or not that was purposeful or not, I don't know.
Probably not.
I thought it was intentional just because I mean, come on, Iceland, kind of a weird coincidence. So, but I
Well, it was so hot for a
so,
while.
so back to these marginal things that you liked about the movie.
Okay, well, something that's not marginal is by far my favorite thing was the scenery. I thought that it was really beautiful. I would almost argue that the setting, like the film, like filming the different parts of Malta and the hotel was almost as beautiful or more beautiful than Dancing Detective. I feel like they used better scenery. There were beautiful gardens, there was beautiful like fortresses by the sea. There was just like more like that terrace area with the lights and the churches, and I just thought they had a lot more of that really beautiful scenery.
More Malta.
Um, yeah. And I enjoyed the two side characters who are the photographer and the digital content guy and girl. I can't remember their name. But they were really they were kind of
Well,
added that goofy element that I liked.
the girl was Patty Murin.
Okay.
So I don't remember what her. Oh, I could just quickly tell you who her character was. She was Sarah Webb,
Okay.
and then Patrick was the computer hacker guy.
Okay.
So yeah, so that it was Sarah and Patrick were her buddies.
Yeah, and I thought they were really great. I enjoyed the scooter chase, which I feel like in Malta they must love scooter chases because that
Yes,
was and they must be really good at it because they seem really good at it.
it's funny
Uh
because I noticed that I was like, wait a minute, this is
yeah.
this just happened in Dancing Detective. So yeah, it must be a Malta thing.
What about the people who live there? They're like, "Oh gosh, another scooter chase they're filming in the neighborhood. Better get out of the way."
But
But and then I liked the killer, the cipher, the villain in the end. I
now
enjoyed that.
you liked like the twist of who it turned out to be, or you liked
Yeah,
the character?
I liked both. I
Okay,
would say I think that the build up to it was interesting, and I also thought the person who it was interesting.
okay.
Um, what about you? Where are you at?
I think you and I must have been sitting next to each other having a couple of the Malta uh,
Malta mimosas.
Malta mimosas together because I have a mind. I thought the side characters were fantastic.
Oh,
Um,
great.
I thought they were funny. Uh, I did not have that the leads were knockoffs, but I'll get into that a little bit about those guys in the next section. But I just thought the side characters they just did a really good job, especially like obviously Patty is, Hallmark and a trained actor from over here who we see in things, and then sometimes and we talked about in the Dancing Detective, when you get these side characters from the local, you don't always necessarily always have the highest talented
Yeah.
actors. And I thought that they were really good here, even like the hotel people and some of the
Mm-hmm.
sides, like you said, Cypher, the one that I will say though, the hotel, or no, who is she, the ambassador, she was a little cardboardy, but whatever,
Mm,
we'll move
I
on
could,
from her. But
I
then I
could,
had
yeah,
Malta as well as one of the things I really liked, and exactly like you said, I thought they did a great job of just portraying how absolutely beautiful it is. If you watch this movie and don't want to go over there, after seeing it, I don't know what's wrong with you, because it just looks so stunning everywhere
yeah,
you look. And then I liked the concept of the movie. I thought it had like the overall what they were trying to do, I
Hmm.
really liked it, and I thought it was, I we'll get into a little more of the critiquing of how they did it, but I thought it was inherently like a good story with having this, other spy who gets killed by this, you know, this international assassin, and then the hotel and the clues and the tunnels and,
Yeah.
just all the things that, came together in this. I thought it was a really good outline for a mystery.
Yeah,
So, which leads us
definitely.
into the next one of what maybe didn't you like as much about this particular one?
Oh, so I really, there were some times where I struggled with the acting. I specifically, our main female lead, I like she was so overly emotional and dramatic in some of these instances. And her character was also like very hard to like in some of these instances that I have to say, like, kind of halfway through, like, I wanted to turn the movie off. Like, I really didn't like her that much. Like, I don't know how to. It's just she would get on the phone. She's like, "Oh hi, yo, where's Elias? Oh, Elias." It's like, well, this guy, you like hung out with him in college, and then he's like your BFF from another mother. Like, I long lost love. I mean, the hugs in the beginning were kind of weird. Like the whole the dynamic between her and her ex slash editor boss, which is also like an HR nightmare waiting to happen, um, was so weird. Like,
Well, I also thought it was like totally unnecessary.
yeah, there was one point where that she was talking with that FBI detective, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, you guys have a past," and it was so like random. Like, no guy would ever automatically assume
Yeah,
that your boss was your ex. It was
yeah,
just a weird.
and he wasn't very like the other two were. Patrick and Sarah were in it a lot, but he wasn't really in it, and there was like no conflict with him being real. I mean, I guess there was a slight thing, but like I say, it was totally unnecessary. But keep
Yeah,
going.
it just felt like all the characters were kind of forced in this strange way. Like, it didn't, even the ambassador at the embassy, like she seemed kind of off. Like,
Right.
everything seemed like budget. This was budget Hallmark in Malta. Like, what are you doing? Get some better actors there or something. I didn't have a problem with, I should say, I didn't have a problem with Colin so much, but I think she just stole too much of my brain with her antics and strange behaviors that I couldn't really look past it. I don't know. What
So I'll
about
just
you?
say I had cast like my thing I didn't like at the casting. I agree with you. And for me, I think she's really cute, and
Yeah,
she just wasn't a sleuther by any means to me. And I think it was just a terrible role for her. I just didn't buy her at all in it. And like you're saying, she just kind of had a little almost like Valley Girl esque, thing to her personality. And I just, I agree with you. I just wasn't enjoying her as the lead in it. And I also didn't think he was a great FBI. I was thinking like Patty Murin, who, the sidekick there,
yeah,
they should have elevated her to be the main one and found a Malta person to be Sarah Webb, whatever. And then I thought like Ryan Peavy would have been Pavey, whatever, would have been great. Like he's an FBI dude. I just didn't think
sure.
Colin just seemed like, yeah, I'm here because my dad's the head of the FBI, and I get to hang out in Malta
There
because
were so
I don't
many
really
things
do
like
much.
that.
And
So
he just
weird.
didn't exude like exude any confidence. Like, wow, you're a competent FBI guy. So I just thought the casting of it was
Yeah.
not great. And then I had and kind of agree with you, like the writing, it just wasn't quite right.
Right.
Like, I said earlier, I thought the structure was there. So I think probably like when they went in to pitch the movie, they're like, the Hallmark executive was like, this is awesome, go for it. And then when they wrote it, it just didn't quite match everything. And you're talking about Elias, like he just was there and then he was dead. Like I thought they should have, and this is probably why you were frustrated with it. I, Before they killed him, they should have had a little more than a hug in the, off in the like the lobby of his dad's hotel. And then he's like, okay, like, oh, he's off, he left. Why would he leave? Oh, he was saying stay for this opening. And then also, why is the putting the FBI up at the Optima? Like this hotel's he's making this thing about the soft opening, and we're not really open yet. We're still figuring things out. And yet apparently they're open for business. So it just was some weird things and the
Yeah.
mystery, and they were just all of a sudden, and we know it's Hallmark, and so sometimes you make leaps of faith, but it was just didn't quite to me.
Yeah.
It just was a kind of a distraction. The dialogue and the flow. Just like when I talked to Ron Oliver, and he was saying how the writing has to match the physical dynamics of what people do, and it just didn't seem
Mm-hmm.
like it did. He would have had a heyday with this one. I'm
Oh
sure
my
if we had him on and said, "Hey, let's watch together and critique it," yeah, it would have been fun. So
Honestly, I couldn't. It made you made me think of I could not stand how she constantly tried to talk in hypotheticals, like trying to be kind of coy and flirty. Like, well, hypothetically, what if I were to find a piece of evidence? And she did that like almost every conversation she had with him for a while, and I was so burnt out on her hypothetical flirt that I could not stand it.
uh,
So annoying.
she's from Vampire Diaries. Do you ever watch that?
I did watch it and I don't remember her from it. She must have been
She,
on it for like 2 seconds.
she was Sybil in 11 episodes.
Bye, Sybil.
She was also in Dynasty.
Oh,
Oh,
that
she
reboot.
she she was in Unreal. That's the one with our friend Brennan. You know who he is, right? Brennan Elliott. But I'm
Of
trying to figure out
course.
if she was in any other Hallmark movies. I don't know. I don't think she's in any other Hallmark
Doesn't surprise
movies.
me.
So, but like I said, she just seemed much more of a rom com to me than
I think
it's just.
she'd be exhausting in anything she's in.
I could. I'll be a little bit more benefit of the doubt, but I could see. I probably could be there as well, because like I said, she's very attractive, and I was annoyed by her. So, you know, I would say that probably shows you how annoying she can be.
Yeah.
Okay, the quality of the mystery.
So yeah, I definitely think they set up the mystery really well in the beginning. It definitely wasn't like your normal Hallmark mystery with the espionage and going to a government embassy and like the foreign aspect of it. Also like the missing body, like there it is, there it isn't. I thought that was cool. The interesting twist of the undercover French agent,
Yep.
and like I didn't really know who the killer was. And I kind of was intrigued by the like elements of the mystery. But again, I felt like there was a lot of filler that wasn't necessary. I feel like I was distracted by Chloe too much. And I just didn't, I felt like the mystery itself was great, like you said. But, or the foundation of it was great, but the execution, not so much.
I have nothing to add. That's pretty much exactly what my notes were. And like you, I didn't know who the killer was, and that was a surprise, which I liked, like I said.
Yeah.
So that was good. I just wish it was, yeah, better written, better directed. So
Yeah.
the body count. Oh, the one thing like you're saying, and this bugged me, and I know it's Hallmark, so we can't let it bother us, but it did. Whereas if someone's falling out of the roof, or not
Yeah.
the roof, out of their thing, and they land on those, stone patio, like
Yeah.
I don't think you could clean that up to be no evidence in a matter of minutes, because you would have like body gunk all
Yeah.
over the place. So like that was like, oops, disappeared. Like it seems like you would have, yeah, whatever. We don't let
Yeah.
Hallmark, we don't let reality uh bug us too much. But maybe I guess because of the overall movie being a little bit annoying, things like that, then where I would let them slide in another movie. In this one, I couldn't let it go. So
Yeah.
okay, the body count, just the one guy falling by Chloe's window, right?
No, body
Oh
count
no, the
is
beginning
two.
guy. Yeah, the beginning, which that actually was the best part of the movie. As I'm thinking about it, when he's walking down the thing and he's, it's real sinister. It's great filming,
Oh
and
no,
all of a
Eric,
sudden,
there's three.
who's the third?
So there's the French agent in the beginning, there's
Right?
Elias, and there's Peter, the head guy at the front desk.
Wait, how do I completely forget that he got killed?
Yeah, when she is down in the basement, she looks over and there he is in a wheelbarrow and she goes, "Oh my
Oh,
God,
right,
Peter."
right, right,
Well, I forgot the
right.
first guy, so
Which that was like the best. Like I thought it when
yeah.
when that first came out. Oh, it's funny because I saw this. I don't know, probably when it first came out, and then I haven't seen it again since. We decided to watch it, and the beginning, I was just like, "Ooh, this is so good! This is so good!" And then it just went downhill. But
Yeah, it's true.
a body count of three.
Yeah, that's high.
That is high. All right.
Espionage, man. It's deadly.
Of course, you and I each remembered two, but
That's
together we
good,
get
right?
three. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Together we get three. Okay. So you did not like Chloe's acting,
Yeah.
but how about her style?
I thought the style was really good. I thought she was dressed really well. I thought actually every character was dressed well. I will say I didn't think that her team, like I liked those two people on the team. Like I liked Patty and I liked the guy Patrick, who I can't remember, but he they both had great style. I loved Patty's look when she first got there, the scarf tied on the backpack, always really nice. That's like a maroon leather jacket look. And then Chloe's looks were all like kind of your classic staples, basic white t-shirt, jeans, trench coat. I mean, she looked very nice. And of course, the FBI suits, flawless. Even the older lady who was playing the embassy,
The ambassador?
the ambassador, she looked like you would imagine, like an older lady who's an ambassador to look. I thought everyone actually was styled perfectly for their characters.
In which it's impressive if you think about it, because when we talked to Nicole and she was talking about going over there to, film when you go overseas, she said it's like really hard because you're trying to find things locally, and it can
Yeah,
be a little tougher. But I agree with you. And for Chloe, yeah, being maybe a little annoying in this movie, she is just like has that perfect body for looking great in clothes. Like all
yeah,
those
anything.
outfits, she was just scene after scene, just great. There's the one where she's wearing, I mean, it's just a striped shirt and jeans and that hat, but
Mm-hmm.
knocked out of the park. So yeah, I thought that was good. And though I will say, I thought that our little FBI agent guy, Aaron, his suits, I don't know. Maybe I guess that's what he's supposed to wear. I just found it kind of, you know, looked like he went to Men's Warehouse or something. So what
Yeah.
he didn't impress me much, but the rest of the characters,
Okay, Shania
um,
Twain.
did.
He don't impress me much. Ow, ow,
Exactly.
ow, ow.
Exactly. Okay, and then we talk about other clothes, but then we do also talk about decor and everything else, and so that brings Malta in here as well. And like we said
Yeah.
earlier, Malta was just fantastic. The hotel's cool, the all the scenery, where the places they went, everything from I'll just say location, decor, whatever you want to call it, was all just fantastic too.
Yeah, like those scenes in the lobby when she initially is searching for someone, she runs across the lobby to get someone at the front desk, and they do it again when she finally gets the FBI agent with her too. Like that's a beautiful lobby.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right. Let's get into our rating now. Steam meter.
Yeah.
How steamy were Aaron and Chloe for you?
Uh, I gave it a 5.
5.
I gave it a
Wow.
5 because I felt like there was a little bit of underlying steam, maybe, but also there was some steam with her ex too, because he was like, "Oh, I care about you. I don't want you to."
Wow. Okay.
I'm being generous, I know.
I gave it a 2.
Okay.
I think you have like, I don't know. That
In the
they're
ending, they had a nice
hypotheticals.
hug.
Yeah, it was like they might as well fist bumped each other. There was no like,
I don't know about
I don't know.
that.
I didn't feel any of it, so I gave it a 2. All right,
Okay.
the story.
The story, I gave it a 5.
Okay, I gave it a 4.
Okay.
You know, just like I say, just the little unevenness in there, and some of the things just brought it down for me. So
Yeah.
a 5, I consider, hey, this is a decent thing, somewhere
Yeah.
right in the middle. But I found it a little below average. All right, how about the mystery?
Mystery, I gave a 6 because I felt like it was intriguing but not executed well. Like,
All right, I gave it a 5. So just like you, I was one better than the story for the same exact reason.
hmm.
All right, the acting.
I gave the acting a 2, and that is for those two characters.
So it's funny. I gave it a 5, but that's the reason why I gave it a 5 was I thought everybody outside the two leads I found actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like the ambassador. The ambassador and the two leads, yeah,
Oh, the villain was good too.
they're right. So
I forgot. You know what? And I really liked how they did the little at the end. They're like, "Bye, Chloe."
yeah, like I say, and we were talking about the French agent. Just so yes, I found like the the who is the guy who was in the wheelbarrow? Paul?
Oh, Peter.
P-
Peter,
no,
Paul, and Mary.
isn't. Oh no, yeah, Peter. I was thinking Patrick. Now too many P's. Yeah, like Peter. Like I thought he was good.
Yeah.
The hotel manager, whatever her name was, with
Yeah.
so I found all of them good. So that's why I gave it the 5. Where everybody else cumulatively brought it up to okay.
Okay.
All right. Now style.
Style, I gave an 8 because I felt like they looked good and I felt like that was a beautiful place.
I gave it a 9 because, like I said, that was the costumer and the location scout are the ones who should get all the credit for this movie.
Yes.
All right, what do you add up to?
26.
And I add up to a 25. So I'd have to say I think this is our lowest ranked
It might
movie.
be. Yeah.
Like, I guess the way I would sum it up is I would say it's worth watching once,
Hmm.
just if you're a sleuther and you want to, whatever. But I wouldn't go out of your way. Like, it's if it's on, okay, give it a watch. But I wouldn't say, hey, I'm going to go to my Hallmark now and, hunt it down or any of that. That's where I would put it.
It wasn't one where I thought, I hope that they make another.
Right.
I,
Yeah.
I didn't think that.
And that's kind of sad. My daughter watched it with me, and she lost interest probably about a half hour in, and all she said to me was, oh, this one's not as good as the other ones.
Yeah.
So, that's for I would say the purely impartial viewer who does, unlike us who kind of have to review them and everything, who just looked at it as like, yeah, not very good. Moving on.
Yep.
So,
I
all right.
agree.
Well, let's us move on too. And we, as usual, hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please tell a friend, give us a review, any of that stuff, or, you know, however you like to engage, just let us know what you think.
Yes. Or you can check us out over on Instagram at Hallmark Mysteries and More, where we post more fun mystery content like Did You Know and trivia and Would You Rather and
And
Sleuther Style.
only to have all of them be answered. Travis, like,
Oh my
who,
gosh.
who would you who would you like Hannah Swenson to marry? Norman or Mike? Travis.
There you go, man.
But all right. Hey, we're also on Threads. Um,
Oh my
that
gosh. I can't keep up with this.
when I remember to send it over there, which isn't very often. So
Jeez.
I don't know. I mean, we're only on Instagram and YouTube, I guess. Um, so if you don't want to listen to it,
Yay.
if you want to see how excited we are on our faces talking about this movie, you can always watch on YouTube versus the podcast, or you can do both.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, one of the things that's coming up is Sydney has a whole bunch of exciting things going on right now, and so I'll be doing a couple of the episodes with some guests or maybe solo because she's got to take a little bit of a break to deal with some very exciting things like getting a house and all of that.
August is
So,
crazy. It's
yes,
loco.
yes. Hopefully, tomorrow or no, yeah, tomorrow the strike hopefully will end. Oh, we have some new movies coming out in September, including Mystery Island with our friend John Christian Plummer. So that's pretty
Yes.
exciting.
I
He
am very excited.
he told us about that on our podcast, and it's now come into fruition. So
Well, who's
it's
the
going to be exciting.
guy?
So
Who's the guy who
uh,
owns the island?
oh, I don't know who it is. The woman's from Agents of Shield,
I don't think I know
and
that.
I don't watch it, but let's just see. She Emila Priestley. She looks really sleuthy. I looked her
Oh,
up.
okay.
Oh no, that's her character's name. Elizabeth Hedstridge is what her real name is. Did you watch How to Get Away with Murder?
Uh, not like in passing. Not
So
really.
there was the one guy who was like her little the main woman's like hatchet guy. I think his name was Frank or something like that. My wife watched the show all the time. I didn't really watch. I was kind of like you, but
Yeah.
he's the detective in it. Who his name's Charlie Weber. I don't know who owns the island. Those were the only names that they released.
Hmm.
So yeah, but
Okay.
London police psychiatrist Dr. Emily Priestley needs to take a relaxing break from her stressful job. So
Oh,
So her wealthy friend
London.
invites her to Mystery Island. Yeah, so maybe we'll get a little London accent there.
Yeah,
So,
like
but
that.
like I said, when I Googled her, she looks very sleuthy, so I'm excited. So,
Okay, cool.
all right. Well, with all that being said, um, Sydney will still be around, still doing the stuff, but just may not be on every podcast for the next couple weeks. So
I'll be
we will miss you.
around.
Yes. All right. Well, on that note, that's the second time we sang on this, or was it the third? We got a lot of
Wow.
Sydney's. It was karaoke night on
I'm gonna,
Hallmark Mysteries and More.
I'm gonna
So,
have to not drink a mimosa this size.
mimosa up. Okay. Well, with that being said, Sydney, have a wonderful night, and we will talk soon.
Okay.